this time. Hello, Miss
Hello.
Jennifer
How are you?
at psychicmediumjenniferdoran.com, which I'll put later on at the end here. But people have been, and I'll put a picture of the telling me about these different stigmata. But the one that really hooked me was this red gridiron phenomena. This woman sent me a picture of her son's arm that had this red gridiron thing. Hi, Eric, I love you.
Hello. Love you too.
I was just sharing with Jennifer. I just did a past life origin trauma thing on me. Another one that was so fascinating. Explained so much of the dynamics in our family, etc. Oh my God! But they're all spiritual contracts that are just fascinating. All right, so I'm wondering about this red gridiron thing. Why would somebody just freaking wake up? Uh-oh, I thought I muted my phone. I put down a reminder to unmute, but oh well, at least I'm getting old. All right. So could this red dot, is it like a encoded message from alien? What is it?
So,
It's like, okay, you've been abducted. You guys, we're done with him. It's like a bar stamp, USDA grade, whatever.
yes. Well, so what Eric is saying about it is, yes, there is extraterrestrial energy here with it. So he was explaining to me how, yes, sometimes it's like when you're abducted, when you're, when you're taken, and this happens, but that there's almost like like an implant, basically, that maybe we don't quite recognize as human, because it's the human technology, the whatever can't find it, so that there's like almost like an implant, for lack of a better way to put it. So it doesn't necessarily mean that we have to get abducted, physically abducted. It's like they can do whatever, I guess, test or whatever they're doing, and it would sort of activate those red grid mark patterns.
Well, activate them to do what?
To show up on the skin. Activate them to show up on the skin. So it's like there's that one birth control that goes under the implant, that goes under the skin or something. Yeah. So there's extraterrestrial technology. So he says you either had gotten this kind of prior to coming in, you would have agreed to have this, or by being actually abducted while you're here, you would get this implant. Okay.
Well, this one boy, her son, which was the case for him?
So Eric says he was never physically abducted. He came in with this implant. So it's technology, apparently, that if we agree on the other side to come in with, it just is with us from the time we come in.
What's it made of? Is it right under the skin? Is it was it in the bone? Tell me about it.
And please, if nobody try to cut this out of yourself or get this out of yourself, it's not anything like that you'd be able to find. It's so microscopic and tiny, and it's like almost like a layer of the skin, is how Eric puts it. You would not know it was there, and it doesn't have to be where the grid mark pattern shows up. Okay. So it's extraterrestrial technology, and I don't know. I have no idea. I know this is some sort of a cartoon or something. But Eric just said to me, like, Wonder Twins activate.
What?
I know that's some sort of a cartoon.
Their powers combined.
Yeah, something like that. Like, where, all of a sudden it can just activate. Yeah, I have to Google that later, because I don't really know what he's talking about. I don't get the reference. So it's like, if you are somebody who has had this experience, this grid mark pattern, yes, there has been data collected.
Okay, so is people with this implant, are they part of a special group to these aliens?
Yeah.
And what's special about them?
Well, either that they've been abducted,
Okay.
or that they've agreed to do this. And it's like collecting data is how Erik puts it, because
Yeah, but
there's
why
all
them? Yeah, that's what I'm
kinds.
asking. Why?
Why them? Oh, perhaps they've had lives on those planets. You
Oh,
know, there's many different reasons,
oh,
um, and lives on those planets is one of them, one of the big ones, or just, agree to a part of the contract.
okay.
It's nothing, there's nothing harmful about this. There's all kinds of ways Erik is saying that extraterrestrials kind of collect information and data from us. They're not always flying in here and, you know, whatever, doing the legwork necessarily of going back and forth, coming in and out. There's all kinds of technology that they use to get the data without having to come back and forth.
All right. So do people with this implant have special, does the implant do something to them, like give them certain powers, or
No,
do these
no,
people have special powers and that's why they have the implant?
no, not necessarily.
Certain
No.
qualities?
No, Erik is saying no, just,
It's
there's a lot
random.
of, yeah, well, it's not,
Or,
yes, it is a bit random, but it would be something that the soul would know was going to happen,
okay.
so when we get here again, one of those like human amnesia things, we'd forget about it, but we
Yeah.
would have known about it before we came in. And it's not, Erik says basically really anybody can have, can agree to do that. It's not
Uh-oh.
it's not like a specific gift or a power or anything like that. Um, and
With
and there's a lot of, he says this happens to a lot of people. This red grid mark pattern, you just don't hear about it as often,
uh
or people think, like, they just kind of dismiss it. For those, I don't know if you're going to show a picture, but it looks
I
like
will.
anybody who's ever had allergy tests done, it,
Yeah.
it kind of looks like that. It's very distinct pattern.
Yeah.
Um,
I think I'll print it out and just show the screen. I don't know why I didn't do that. Um, but yeah, so is there a particular alien race that does this by any chance?
I every time we do alien stuff, I say I'm going to learn more about the alien races because I don't really know the names and stuff. Um,
Well,
and so
we
that's
start with a
where
vowel,
I
Erik, or
I have a short, limited capacity here. But he says no. There's a few of the alien races that do this. There's a handful, but it's not evil. It's not negative. It's not used to
okay.
harm us or anything like that. And there's a few that do this.
Okay. Uh, can one who has this happen to them undergo past or future life regression progression to find out more
Yeah,
about that agreement?
absolutely. Yes, absolutely. If you were in the right frame of mind and you were open to all of this and to learning about it, yes.
Yeah. Let me go get that. Okay. All right. So there it is, guys.
Oh
See
yeah.
it?
Yeah, come a bit closer
I have to
there.
talk to
That's,
a show.
yeah.
Hello, 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 hello. Red grid mark pattern phenomena.
Yep. Yep.
All right. Okay, let's go on to the next one. I remember we were doing group calls a million years ago, and somebody said that her dentist noticed a carved out triangle on the lateral aspect of a back molar, and that he had seen it before and thought it was odd. And I think it was Robert was taking the calls, and or maybe it was, I can't remember, but whoever was the medium said it was something alien.
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah, why is that?
Um so what Erik is saying about that is he keeps saying like a satellite dish, a satellite dish. Um
Radio Moscow.
so
Yeah.
So not necessarily that the person's getting the radio in their mouth, but like whatever this is gives off,
Oh.
um, you know, like you could bounce like how satellites bounce, they
Yeah.
bounce. It's that sort of like an amplifier, like something like that.
For the aliens to gather.
Yes.
How
Hmm.
does that help them? Do you get free satellite channels with that?
No,
Uh,
no. So some of this stuff, Eric says, is not really to help the aliens. It's to help trying to keep an eye on us.
okay.
Um, so some of this stuff when they check in and they gather information is to protect us, to protect the human race from
Oh, that's
ourselves.
nice. Oh, good. So it's
So
benevolent, most of this.
yes, 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 yes. Everything that we've talked about so far feels quite benevolent.
All right.
Yes.
So, is it more than one race that does the molar thing?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, yep. He says it is. It's just that the extraterrestrials have the technology that they have is so vastly superior to ours,
Oh, yeah.
and that really goes for a lot of the extraterrestrial races.
Wish they were there. When they're there, they could put a little extra layer of enamel on our teeth, for God's sake. Maybe they do. So, is this something also that can be agreed to
Y-
before we incarnate, but also can be
yes.
done? Okay.
Yep. Can be
Now,
done in a.
also, some people have like an extra crease, like I do too. I don't know if it's not everybody does. And well, mine just might be from old age. But is that something?
Eric says that's huge, just human anatomy and differences there, not extraterrestrial.
Oh, okay. Dang it! I thought, do I have anything extraterrestrial? Do I have implants? Scan.
He says no.
Eh. Now, it's boring. Uh, some people have a very deep hole right on top of their ear here, really deep. It's like they had a big piercing, but they didn't. Now that is not natural.
Eric says this is not extraterrestrial.
What is it? Just a congenital birth thing?
Yeah, yeah. It feels more like that. Yes,
Okay.
not a defect, but yes, a birth thing.
Okay. Now, your sister Michelle, she has the a constellation. I think of Sirius. Where is Michelle from? Uh, Usually goes to incarnates to. Is it Sirius? I can't remember. Yeah, I think it's
Uh,
Sirius. Lucas and her. But it's a pattern of Sirius freckles.
yes, yes.
Tell me about that. Some people do have these
Yeah,
things.
well, you know what's weird? I have a it's of the stars, but I have the Orion's belt of freckles on
Oh,
me. Yes. Um
cool.
what Eric says about that is that sometimes it's just like these patterns and stuff are put on you, like the freckles, just as sort of like a subconscious reminder, and a connection of where you're from.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So it's not necessarily got any powers or any extraterrestrial energy to it. It's just done to be like a nod sort of for where you're at, where you're from.
Oh, wow. So are these, is it decided before you incarnate? Hey, you know what I want? That sort of thing?
Yes. Yeah, any kind of like birthmarks or freckle patterns or any of that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. This is all decided beforehand. So Eric says down to the minute detail we pick our physical attributes.
It's like, hey, I'm a Cowboys fan, so I want that sort of thing.
Yes. Yes.
Hey, I want to, I'm a Wisconsin, whatever. I want a head shaped like cheese, that sort of thing.
Yes.
I wouldn't
Yes,
recommend that.
exactly. No,
It's so
not
fun.
a good choice.
No. Okay, here's some of these are personal questions from people. I was born with a very large head of cheese. No, born with a very large red birthmark at the top of my head. This is actually really common. This is stork bite, I think she's talking about. At
Yep.
the top of my neck where my head meets my skull. What does it mean and why is it there?
This in this particular case, this person was murdered in a past life. Um
Oh,
gunshot or something right in that area. and it came back in this lifetime as a mark on the skin.
Oh, wow. In some cases, is it always past life stuff?
It's not always past life stuff. Sometimes it's just, you know, these stork bites or these marks. Sometimes people have them in very visible places. Sometimes it's part of some sort of a lesson that you're learning to
Oh,
have some sort of a, you know, mark on
about
you.
vanity, things like that.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right. Let's see. A few years ago, I woke up with 3 tiny red dots in a triangle shape on my right forearm. Well, just a few years ago, so she wasn't born with it. Okay, we'll talk about that too, but she also has something else. But so what's that all about? My 4-year-old grandson is trying to FaceTime me.
Oh.
Oh, no.
So Erik says this was not extraterrestrial. I just keep seeing a bite. Like it's like a spider bite or something, you know, some sort of a bite. Something that happened here, not extraterrestrial.
Okay. I also have flat moles in the shape of the Big Dipper and Cassiopeia on that same forearm. These take up pretty much my whole forearm. I haven't even ever thought of anything of them. Maybe the spider bites or whatever was done to make her notice them. I don't know.
Notice it. Well, yeah, and those the other marks that she's talking about are just marks she, you know, agreed to kind of have on her before she came in.
So are they of the Big Dipper and Cassiopeia?
Well, yes, in the shape of them, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Why? Is that where she? Is that where one of her home planets is?
Yeah, I'm very pulled to the Cassiopeia.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, I guess somewhere in that region of the galaxy, yes.
Okay, cool. Okay, here's another one. Hi, my grandmother had this small brown brush mark on her skin, and my sister also has the same one. What is the significance to these?
Okay. Um,
Brush marks. I've seen that. Small brown brush marks.
yeah.
Oh,
Uh,
on her shin. Sorry. On the
okay.
shin.
Um, it's interesting because I'm asking Erik, is it past life? Is it anything like that? And he says it's not. It's something that they chose to come in with before they came in with these
Okay.
marks, and that they, you know, they both chose it to link them together, because
Oh.
these two have a soulmate connection.
Oh.
So he says it's basically like, you know, two best friends deciding to get the same tattoo.
Oh.
It's
Well, maybe
it's
because they don't get along, and they want to remind. Maybe they have a spiritual contract to to be at odds with each other, and they wanted to remind. Hey, remember we have the same tattoos. Who knows? I don't know.
yeah.
So okay, well that's cool. Uh, she goes on. Also, I have a brown mole on my breast. Was this for a stabbing or gunshot wound from a previous life?
Yeah, it was a stabbing, but it didn't kill her. But it disfigured. Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Was she a woman or a man in that life?
Um, female.
Okay. Well, so
Female
that
in
would
that
be really
life.
figuring then for a
Y-
woman. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Was it
And I
past or?
actually I see a lot of abuse,
Oh,
a lot of wounds and stuff for her
really?
in that life. Not This was not a pleasant life.
Oh, was she a prostitute or a whorehouse thing?
It's not, it wasn't quite prostitute or whorehouse, but there's definitely some sort of ownership over her.
Oh, by one man?
Control. Yes. Yes.
Oh God. Well, I mean, sign up for these things, you know.
Yes.
A freckle or mark on the skin that after some years disappears, would that have any particular meaning?
No. They just do that sometimes. They just go away.
The immune system sort of kicks in
Yep.
okay. All right. Last one is kind of a long paragraph. So why is save it for the last? St. Francis of Assisi probably was the first Christian to be recorded as to having stigmata. 2 years before his death, an angel appeared to him as he prayed. St. Francis noticed that the angel was either crucified or had crucifixion-like wounds. Okay. After the angel disappeared, St. Francis was left with the same crucifixion wounds. I remember that. And became stigmatic thereafter. Is there truth to this story, since it happened in the 1920s? Is there? That he
Okay.
had the stigmata, that St. Francis had the wounds on his
So when
feet?
Erik says, when we're talking about these two that you were just talking about, there's, see, with this particular stigmata, he says that there are, you know, there's been, you know, a number of cases of it. They're not all real. They're not all. Some of them are hoaxes. Some of them are hoaxes.
Yeah, like Jesus on the piece of toast. That's
Yes.
real. It's got to be real.
Yeah. Yes. So, but there have been people who, before they came in, it was in their contract to have this stigmata happen to them. Just to, you know, we need mystery. We need,
Hope, faith.
um, yes, we need unsolvable. We need stuff like that. So in some regard, in some of these cases, it was just agreed to beforehand that this stigmata would happen to people. But there are cases of it that were not legitimate.
What about in the case of Saint Francis of Assisi?
Yes. Yes, this was contracted before.
Was it because we need to also just believe in a higher power, God, source, things like that?
Yes. So there's, what Erik is saying about this is there needs to be, um there needs to be, yes, signs of hope, signs of, um
Miracles.
still around. Yeah, miracles that you know, God and Jesus are still around. And
Yeah.
so every so often something like this happens to just,
Hey, I'm here. I'm watching you. You
yes.
better watch your
Yes.
back.
Yeah.
Be good.
Watch your back. Yes. But really it's more for the faith.
Yeah. Faith. Have faith.
So
Faith.
what Erik said about that is, this is kind of interesting actually. He says on a big scale, humans could feel abandoned. Okay, like,
Yeah.
and this is one of the things that kind of helps not feel abandoned, especially if your faith lies towards that belief.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and that's just kind of interesting. I've never heard him say that. Like Earth in general, all the humans here,
Yeah.
there's a thread of abandonment that we all feel for not being home.
Wow. Interesting.
Yes.
That sent chills.
Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
God. All right. She goes on. Padre Pio, now known as Saint Pio, was notorious for being a stigmatic, and I guess that's what you call them, and performing miracles. Was he really stigmatic? If so, why? Was it his spiritual contract? Same thing?
Yep. Yes, this was a spiritual contract.
Wow.
Yes.
For the same reason.
Yes.
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 What is the actual purpose of being stigmatic? Okay, we already did that. Does it always manifest itself in bleeding? Or can it be manifested in other ways? I mean, I guess.
The true stigmatic would be the bleeding, is what Erik says. The
Is that
true
bleeding from the eyes or the feet or I don't
well,
know.
yeah, the hands, the feet, I don't know. I know the, like, the crown on the head, you know,
Oh yeah.
um
Yeah.
so like bleeding from these places, yes.
Okay. What about the bleeding from the eyes of Mother Mary? I think that was one. Is that considered stigmata? No,
Uh,
that would be only human, right?
well, yeah, the way we're talking about it, we're talking about the human stigmata, not the statues. Like
Oh,
you're talking, like the Mary with the statues, right? The statues that will
right,
be
right.
crying tears.
Oh,
Saint
yeah.
Same thing here. Erik says sometimes this is a hoax.
Yeah, okay.
But there have been cases where it was just part of what needed to happen in
Okay.
that time. Yeah, to show evidence. Evidence is a good word.
Okay. Okay. Cool. So, there were three little girls who had something going on too. I don't know. I don't think it was stigmata, but uh, does it always manifest into something? Is the bleeding supposed to be representative of Jesus?
Yes.
If so, why does it have to be so gory and stark? Is it for shock effect? Why?
Well, it's because, well, so yes, it needs to be, there needs to be some shock value to it, so to speak, because if it were just red marks,
Yeah,
it wouldn't have as great of weight to it. It wouldn't get as much notice. So the bleeding is definitely noteworthy.
yeah,
So that's why it's done that way, and that's, Jesus would have been bleeding.
yeah.
So
I, I, I,
if it's going to happen, there's going to be the bleeding along with it.
yeah. Okay. So, is it only a Christianity thing, or does it happen in other religions?
So he says other people have had stigmata stuff happen. They
Okay.
maybe wouldn't associate it with Jesus,
Okay.
of
So
course,
it
but
doesn't have to be a religious thing, right?
no, it does not have to be. No, it does not have to happen to only religious people. And he says there's been cases of it that just never got reported
Oh, yeah, I can imagine.
because, yeah.
Yeah, there's Saint Catherine of Siena. She was one. I'm just reading because I really should have read this before. Sorry. Let me see if I can find. Oh, what about the Shroud of Turin? Is that considered, you know, a stigmata?
Is that the
Shroud, yeah,
with Jesus's face on it? Is that the one?
yeah. Hmm.
No, this is not stigmata.
Okay. I don't know why it's under here. Well, anyway. All right. So, did the Catholic Church hide stigmatics in the past? If so, why? I don't know.
Yeah. So
Did they say it was like the
actually,
devil because blood and stuff? Satan?
well, yeah, Erik is saying that there have been some cases that were hidden, which doesn't really make sense to me because it seems like you'd want the notoriety from it.
Huh.
But Erik says no cases have been hidden, just in certain times
Yeah.
to avoid the scrutiny.
Oh,
Maybe when more, laying low a little bit, and let's
yeah.
not talk about the stigmata, and we'll just kind of hide this person. So yes, it has been hidden before too.
Well, maybe they thought it could be associated with the devil or something.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
this is not something that happens to, thousands
Yeah.
of people, thousands and
Oh,
thousands of
yeah.
people.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, do stigmatics have a similar genetic, do they have similar genetic commonalities?
No, not necessarily.
So, like, were and are there stigmatics that have, stigmatics in past and future lives or just in one?
Like, are you asking, if somebody was a stigmatic, would they carry that across lifetimes?
Wait, were and are stigmatics actual stigmatics in past and future lives or
It,
just in the one?
this is just, it depends person to person.
Okay, so they could.
Yes, they could. Yes. I don't know
I
why you
want
would
to
want
know
to.
the
That's,
markings, huh?
I said, I don't know why you would want to, but
I don't know. I want to know the markings on the palms. I have big triangles, some have M's. Are those known for Archangel Michael?
yeah.
Really? Do I
Yeah.
have that? Oh.
Uh,
Do I have any significance
yeah,
to
I'm
my
looking at
palm?
my palms too. I'm like, hey, that's kind of
Oh my God.
interesting.
Do I have anything cool on my body other than the wrinkles, Erik?
Wrinkles.
That's not cool. Just tell me no.
Just tell me no.
Okay. I will read your silence as a no. I want to know this is one more thing. I have a scleroderma scar on my back. Erik told me it was a portal made by the reptilians. Is that true?
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay. Anything else you
I
want
will
to say
tell you, he
about?
just said it's not active though. The portal's not active. So
No.
I don't know if that helps or
Yeah, well, I think it would. So, is there anything else you want to say about stigmata, Erik? Alien,
no.
malicious, or otherwise?
No, but he was saying that you do have some pattern, like a freckle or mole type pattern. So
Where is it? Probably on
it's
my butt.
well, I do feel it's behind you.
Ah,
So either on your back, the back of your legs. So check it out and see if you find some sort of pattern.
okay.
Because I was
Well, what does it
asking him, I said,
represent? That's the
um,
main thing. Is it
it
alien or non-alien?
uh it does connect to the stars. Okay,
Okay.
so
The 80s, probably.
I guess yeah, alien. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. You guys check out Jennifer at psychicmediumjenniferdoran.com, which I'll put here. But Jennifer, do you want to share anything?
Like what?
Well, whatever.
You put me on the spot. Thank you. That's all.
No, I mean
About
anything about uh, your services or
gotcha. I am a psychic medium. You go to my website. I offer, 4 different time lengths of readings. I do
oh, yeah,
also
what are
offer
they?
training.
Yeah, what are they?
I do 15-minute, 30-minute, 45, and 1 hour.
Okay.
And then I do a 45-minute training. I offer that as well.
Oh, what kind of training?
Psychic, psychic awakening, psychic
Oh, that's
mediumship
awesome.
training. Yep.
Do you think you'll ever do like little intimate group readings?
Oh
Uh,
yeah, I've done those quite a few times here in the Orlando area.
would you
Not
consider
recently,
doing
obviously.
like Zoom readings, like 4 or 6
Oh
people
yeah.
and so
Yep,
forth?
I've done those. Actually, I've done those before too. And those kind of things I usually put on Facebook. So, if you do want to follow me on Facebook, Psychic Medium Jennifer Doran, when I do that kind of stuff, that's where I advertise it, is up on Facebook, my
Oh,
Facebook
y'all do
page.
that because those are great. And for people who can't afford like
Yeah.
regular sessions, then that's if you can't afford it, then you're not getting the abundance you need. So you need me and Erik to do portal work on you to blast open those closed portals so that boom, outflows creativity, information, streams of consciousness, and abundance of love, health, and wealth.
Yes.
And
Yes,
other.
absolutely.
All right, guys. See you later. Bye,
Hey,
Erik. I love you. We'll get back to
Bye.
on the
I
portal.
love you too, but keep me. Don't
Oh,
don't
okay,
do
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
And
Bye
he says
bye.
love you too.
Love you.